Have you ever felt trapped in a relationship or situation that drains your energy and clouds your peace of mind? Imagine standing in the middle of a chaotic room, voices shouting, emotions swirling, and no clear way out. Maybe it's a toxic colleague who undermines your every effort, a friend whose demands leave you exhausted, or even a family member whose criticism cuts deep. You feel stuck, torn between loyalty and the need to protect your own sanity. What if I told you there's a way to free yourself, not by running away, but by mastering the art of detachment, a way to live with grace and inner peace, even amidst the chaos? Inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, today's video will reveal how to detach from people and situations that no longer serve your growth. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This journey isn't about indifference, it's about reclaiming your power. Through 7 practical steps, you'll learn to protect your inner tranquility, make rational choices, and navigate relationships with clarity and confidence. Are you ready to embrace the wisdom that can transform your life? Let's dive in. Step 1. Step away temporarily. Imagine this. You're in a heated argument with someone you deeply care about. Voices are raised, emotions are flaring, and you feel your pulse quicken as frustration takes over. Every word exchanged feels like fuel to a growing fire. Yet, in that moment, you choose to pause. Instead of saying something you might regret, you step away, physically and emotionally, from the chaos. You walk outside, take a deep breath, and let the cool air calm your thoughts. By the time you return, you're no longer reacting impulsively but responding with clarity and intention. This decision to step away temporarily, though simple, embodies a profound Stoic principle. Control over oneself is the foundation of inner peace. The wisdom of the Stoics teaches us that stepping away is not a sign of weakness, but a courageous act of self-discipline. Seneca wrote, "Retreat into yourself as much as you can." This advice is not about running from problems, but about creating space to regain control of your emotions. In those moments of retreat, you find clarity, allowing reason to guide your actions rather than being overwhelmed by emotional storms. This practice enables you to return to the situation with a calm and measured perspective, prepared to engage constructively. Let's consider another example. A college student named Daniel is stressed about an upcoming group project. Disagreements among teammates have escalated into unproductive arguments. Instead of staying in the tense environment, Daniel decides to step away. He heads to the campus garden, sits on a bench and reflects. As he breathes deeply, he starts to notice the root of the issue. His frustration stems from his fear of failure, not just the team's disagreements. This newfound self-awareness allows him to return with empathy, focusing on solutions rather than conflict. His ability to pause and reflect doesn't just help him, it transforms the dynamic of the group. The act of stepping away temporarily is not limited to personal relationships or academic settings. Picture a professional scenario. A manager, overwhelmed by constant meetings and deadlines, finds themselves on the brink of burnout. Instead of continuing down a path of stress-induced decisions, they take a mental health day to reset. During this time, they disconnect from emails, go for a hike, and reconnect with their priorities. Upon returning to work, they're more focused and effective, ready to tackle challenges with renewed energy. This intentional pause, as simple as it seems, becomes a turning point in their productivity and well-being. Epictetus emphasized, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This philosophy reminds us that while we cannot control external chaos, we can always control our internal response. Stepping away creates the necessary distance to exercise this power, enabling us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It's not about avoiding the issue, it's about preparing yourself to handle it with wisdom. Here's how you can apply this principle in your daily life. Find a quiet space, step into nature, whether it's a park, a quiet room, or even your car. The goal is to remove yourself from the immediate stressor. For instance, during a disagreement, say, "I need a moment to think. Let's pause and continue this conversation later." Pause. Communication. Sometimes the best way to reduce tension is to create temporary silence. Send a message like, "I need some time to process this. Can we revisit it tomorrow?" This approach shows respect while protecting your emotional boundaries. Reflect on your emotions. Use this time to ask yourself meaningful questions. Why am I feeling this way? What's truly bothering me? Write in a journal, meditate, or simply sit in silence. The goal is to uncover the root cause of your feelings and gain clarity. Stepping away temporarily is more than a pause. It's a reset. It's an opportunity to reclaim your composure, deepen your self-awareness, and ultimately make decisions rooted in reason rather than emotion. The beauty of this practice is that it's universally applicable, whether you're dealing with a strained relationship, workplace stress, or even your own inner doubts. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you gave yourself permission to step away? Did it help you see things more clearly or regain control over your emotions? Share your experiences in the comments below. Your story might inspire someone else to embrace this practice and find their own moment of clarity. As we journey deeper into the teachings of Stoicism, remember that detachment is not about apathy, it's about strength. By stepping away, you take the first step toward mastering your mind and living with purpose. Marcus Aurelius wisely observed, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul." Let's explore how stepping away temporarily leads us to that place of peace and resilience. Are you ready to take the first step? Step 2. Evaluate rationally. Stepping away temporarily gives us the space to breathe. But what happens next? After calming the storm of emotions, it's time to ask ourselves some hard questions. Do the people or situations we've stepped away from align with our values and goals? Are they contributing positively to our growth, or are they sources of ongoing harm? This is where the second step, evaluating rationally, comes into play. It's not about severing ties on a whim, but making deliberate, thoughtful decisions about the relationships and circumstances in our lives. Imagine Lisa, a young professional trapped in a toxic relationship with a colleague. The constant belittling and passive-aggressive remarks started to erode her confidence and focus. At first, she tried to ignore it, hoping things would improve. But after taking some time to reflect, Lisa asked herself, "Is this relationship helping me grow, or is it holding me back?" She realized the answer was clear. The relationship was draining her energy and self-worth. Inspired by Epictetus's wisdom, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Lisa decided to establish boundaries, limiting her interactions and focusing on her work. This choice wasn't easy, but it allowed her to regain her confidence and protect her mental health. The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that rational evaluation is a critical step in detachment. Epictetus reminds us that while we cannot always control external events, we have complete power over our responses. By carefully examining the impact of a person or situation on our well-being, we take the first step toward reclaiming our autonomy. This isn't about judging others harshly. It's about honoring our own needs and values. To evaluate rationally, begin by assessing how the person or situation affects your mental and emotional health. Are they a source of inspiration or constant negativity? Consider someone who always criticizes your ambitions or belittles your achievements. Reflect on how their behavior influences your mindset and progress. Is it building you up or tearing you down? This level of honesty can be uncomfortable, but it's essential for growth. Next, ask yourself a profound question. Does this relationship align with my moral values and contribute to my development? Stoicism emphasizes the importance of pursuing virtue and flourishing through meaningful connections. Think of your relationships as a garden. Some plants nourish the soil, while others deplete it. Are the people in your life helping you grow, or are they overshadowing your light? This evaluation requires courage because it forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the dynamics we tolerate. Rational decision-making also involves resisting the pull of emotions. When we're hurt or angry, our immediate reaction might be to cut ties abruptly. But Stoicism encourages us to pause and reflect. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Instead of reacting impulsively, focus on what serves your higher self. Detaching from a harmful relationship doesn't mean acting out of spite. It means acting out of self-respect and wisdom. Consider Alex, a software engineer who often felt undervalued by his close circle of friends. They dismissed his dreams and ridiculed his efforts to start a side business. Initially, Alex tried to win their approval, but he realized this need for validation was holding him back. By evaluating rationally, he saw the toxicity in the relationship. With newfound clarity, he chose to spend more time with supportive mentors and like-minded peers. This shift not only freed him emotionally, but also created space for meaningful growth. In your own life, rational evaluation could look like this. Assess impact. Identify how the relationship or situation influences your mental and emotional health. Does it motivate you or weigh you down? Write down specific instances where you've felt drained or uplifted to gain clarity. Align with values. Reflect on whether the relationship or situation aligns with your values and aspirations. Ask yourself, is this helping me live a virtuous and meaningful life? This step is not about placing blame, but about aligning your actions with your purpose. Choose reason over emotion. Resist making decisions fueled by temporary emotions. Instead, focus on long-term benefits. Visualize the life you want to build and consider how detaching or staying connected fits into that vision. The process of evaluating rationally can be transformative. It empowers you to take control of your relationships and circumstances, ensuring they reflect your highest values. However, it also requires patience and honesty. Not every decision will be straightforward, and some may come with a sense of loss. Yet, in choosing to align your life with reason and virtue, you open the door to greater fulfillment and inner peace. Let me ask you, are there relationships or situations in your life that you've been avoiding evaluating? What would happen if you faced them with honesty and rationality? Share your reflections in the comments below. Your journey might inspire others to take their first step towards self-awareness and growth. Remember, detachment isn't about cold-hearted disconnection. It's about freeing yourself to focus on what truly matters. As Epictetus teaches, circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Use this step to reveal your strength, clarity, and commitment to living a purposeful life. What will you choose to let go of today to make room for something better? Step 3. Share with someone trustworthy. When life feels overwhelming, sharing your thoughts with someone you trust can be a lifeline. Stoicism, while emphasizing self-reliance, never advocates for isolation. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, reminds us, "The greatest blessing that can be bestowed upon a man is a friendly acquaintance." This wisdom underscores the power of a trusted confidant, someone who can help us navigate challenges with clarity, perspective, and a sense of shared humanity. Imagine Sarah, a young entrepreneur facing mounting stress from her failing startup. She was consumed by doubts, questioning her abilities and worth. In the midst of her turmoil, Sarah turned to her lifelong friend Emma, someone she trusted implicitly. Over a long evening walk, Sarah poured out her fears and frustrations. Emma didn't judge or interrupt, but listened attentively, offering thoughtful insights. She reminded Sarah of the resilience she had shown in past struggles and encouraged her to view this failure as a stepping stone. Through this conversation, Sarah found renewed confidence and a clearer path forward. The act of sharing didn't just ease her burden, it illuminated solutions she hadn't seen before. Sharing with someone trustworthy is not merely about venting, it's about creating space for reflection and insight. A trusted friend, mentor, or family member acts as a mirror, helping us see what we might overlook when overwhelmed by emotions. This aligns perfectly with the Stoic principle of seeking wisdom through dialogue. By opening up, we invite a fresh perspective that often clarifies our own thoughts. To practice this, the first step is to identify someone you genuinely trust. Choose someone who embodies patience, wisdom, and integrity. It could be a childhood friend, a wise mentor, or a supportive family member. For instance, Marcus Aurelius often turned to his philosophical mentors for guidance, understanding that even the most self-disciplined individuals benefit from external perspectives. Who in your life fits this role? Reflect on the people around you who have consistently been a source of support and clarity. Once you've chosen someone, approach the conversation with openness and humility. It's tempting to defend ourselves or dismiss advice, especially when we're feeling vulnerable. However, true growth comes from listening without resistance. Think of this as a partnership in problem solving. Your trusted confidant isn't there to judge, but to help you see the bigger picture. When they share their perspective, ask yourself, what truth can I take from this? By doing so, you transform the dialogue into a tool for self-discovery. Consider the story of James, a high-performing executive who found himself paralyzed by decision fatigue. Struggling with whether to leave his lucrative job for a more meaningful career, he confided in his mentor, a retired business leader. Through their conversation, James realized that his fear of leaving wasn't about money, but about losing the validation tied to his title. His mentor encouraged him to focus on the Stoic value of living in alignment with his inner principles. This insight gave James the clarity and courage to pursue a path that resonated with his core values. Sharing with someone trustworthy also allows us to explore our emotions in a safe environment, preventing them from festering unchecked. As Seneca observed, a friend is someone you can think aloud with. This process is not about seeking validation or solutions from others, but about using the conversation to illuminate your own thoughts. Often verbalizing our struggles helps untangle the web of emotions and confusion, leading us to answers that were already within us. Incorporate this step into your life by carefully choosing someone who has consistently demonstrated empathy and wisdom, a trusted friend, family member, or mentor who has served as a reliable anchor during challenging times. Reflect on their role in your life and the steady support they've provided. When you engage in conversation, approach it with an open mind, ready to listen without defense. Absorb their insights as opportunities for growth rather than critiques, allowing their perspective to illuminate areas for improvement. Use the dialogue as a tool for self-reflection by tuning into the emotions and thoughts that surface during your discussion. Ask yourself, how does this align with my values? What lessons can I draw from this interaction? By doing so, you transform the conversation into a profound experience of self-discovery and personal growth, strengthening your ability to navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose. Sharing with someone trustworthy is a powerful act of connection and introspection. It reminds us that while we may walk our paths individually, we are never truly alone. By leaning on those we trust, we honor the Stoic belief in the strength of community and dialogue as tools for personal growth. Let me ask you, who in your life can you turn to during moments of uncertainty? When was the last time you truly opened up to someone? Take a moment to reflect and share your thoughts in the comments below. Remember, as Seneca said, friendship improves happiness and abates misery by the doubling of our joy and the dividing of our grief. Reach out to someone you trust today and let this step guide you toward clarity, connection, and renewed strength. Step 4. Set emotional boundaries. As we navigate life's challenges, emotions can often feel like powerful waves threatening to pull us under. Anger, frustration, sadness, or even overwhelming joy can cloud our judgment and lead us to act impulsively. Learning to set emotional boundaries is essential to maintaining balance and fostering inner peace. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, wisely stated, "We have the power to suspend the action of the passions." This sentiment reminds us that while emotions are a natural part of being human, they do not have to control us. By establishing limits, we can channel our emotions constructively and respond to situations with clarity and wisdom. Consider Anna, a young mother juggling work, family responsibilities, and personal stress. One evening, a heated argument erupted between Anna and her teenage son over his declining grades. Fueled by exhaustion and frustration, Anna felt anger rising uncontrollably. In the past, such conflicts often ended with harsh words and lingering resentment. But this time, Anna paused. She took a deep breath, walked into another room, and gave herself a moment to reflect. Instead of reacting impulsively, she chose to approach the situation calmly, engaging her son in a constructive conversation later that evening. This small act of restraint not only diffused the tension, but also strengthened their relationship. Anna's ability to set emotional boundaries transformed what could have been a damaging encounter into an opportunity for connection and growth. Setting emotional boundaries is not about suppressing feelings, but about learning to manage them effectively. The Stoics understood that unchecked emotions, or passions, could disrupt our peace and derail our decisions. They advocated for self-awareness and intentional control over emotional responses. This begins with recognizing when emotions are starting to overwhelm us. Like Anna, stepping away momentarily or practicing techniques to center ourselves can prevent impulsive actions that we might later regret. One practical approach is the use of deep breathing. When emotions surge, taking slow, deliberate breaths can help reset the nervous system, bringing calm and focus. For example, inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and exhale slowly for 6 counts. This method not only soothes physiological stress, but also creates a mental pause, allowing us to choose our response consciously. Another Stoic technique is negative visualization. By imagining worst-case scenarios, we prepare ourselves mentally and emotionally for challenges, reducing the shock and intensity of our reactions when difficulties arise. For instance, if you anticipate a difficult conversation at work, envisioning possible outcomes, both positive and negative, can help you remain composed and flexible regardless of how the discussion unfolds. This practice rooted in Stoic philosophy, strengthens our resilience by reminding us that we are capable of handling even the most uncomfortable situations. Equally important is reframing how we perceive our emotions. Remind yourself, emotions are not my enemy, they are signals that need management. This mindset shifts our relationship with emotions from one of resistance to one of understanding and mastery. For example, anger might signal a boundary that has been crossed, while fear may point to an area of personal growth. By interpreting emotions as valuable data rather than threats, we gain clarity and control. The power of setting emotional boundaries extends beyond ourselves. It also influences our relationships. When we manage our emotions, we create a safer and more respectful environment for those around us. Imagine a family dinner where unresolved tension simmers beneath the surface. One person's ability to regulate their emotions, choosing calm over confrontation, can shift the entire dynamic, fostering dialogue instead of discord. Emotional boundaries serve as a foundation for meaningful connections, built on mutual understanding and respect. Reflect for a moment. How often do your emotions dictate your actions? Have there been times when a lack of boundaries led to unnecessary conflict or regret? By consciously setting limits, you reclaim the power to act in alignment with your values rather than being swept away by fleeting passions. As you consider this step, ask yourself, what strategies can I use to establish emotional boundaries in my daily life? Perhaps it's a commitment to deep breathing during moments of stress, or incorporating a few minutes of mindfulness each morning to build self-awareness. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences might inspire someone else on their journey. Epictetus's reminder that we can suspend the action of the passions is not a call to suppress our humanity, but an invitation to refine it. By managing our emotions with intention and grace, we not only cultivate inner peace, but also become a source of stability and inspiration for others. Take this step today and experience the profound freedom that comes from mastering your emotional landscape. Step 5. Assess the consequences. Deciding to distance yourself from a person or situation can be one of the most challenging choices in life. It often involves stepping into the unknown, weighing potential losses against the possibility of long-term gains. Consider the story of Emma, a high-performing professional in a high-pressure job. Despite her success, the relentless demands of her role began taking a toll on her mental health and personal relationships. Quitting felt like an escape, but it also carried the frightening prospect of financial instability. Emma faced a dilemma many of us encounter. How do you assess the consequences of stepping away when the stakes are so high? This is where the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius offers clarity. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. The Stoics remind us to prioritize our time and energy on what aligns with our values and promotes inner peace. Before making a decision, take a moment to reflect on the broader implications of staying versus leaving. What do you risk by remaining in a toxic environment? What might you gain by letting go? These questions shift the focus from fear to a thoughtful evaluation of what truly matters. Begin by listing the potential benefits and risks of your decision. For Emma, staying in her job meant financial stability, but at the cost of her well-being. Leaving offered the chance to reset and rediscover balance, though it carried short-term uncertainties. Writing these factors down helps you view the situation objectively, free from the immediate emotional weight. As Marcus Aurelius taught, examining life through the lens of rationality reveals pathways hidden by anxiety. Next, think about the long-term effects of your choice. Ask yourself, how will this decision shape my future? For Emma, Remaining in a job that drained her soul could lead to burnout, strained relationships, and a sense of regret. On the other hand, taking a leap of faith, though uncomfortable at first, promised the freedom to pursue opportunities better aligned with her values. This step is not about avoiding challenges, but about ensuring that the struggles you endure are meaningful and contribute to your growth. A critical part of assessing consequences is embracing them with a calm and prepared mindset. Detachment doesn't mean avoiding difficulties. It's about accepting the outcomes with grace. The Stoics teach us to anticipate challenges and prepare ourselves for them. Emma decided to create a financial safety net before leaving her job, giving herself the security to face the uncertainty ahead. This level-headed planning allowed her to step away with confidence, knowing she was equipped to handle the consequences. By understanding that every decision has trade-offs, you shift from a place of fear to empowerment. What are you holding on to that no longer serves you? Are you staying in a situation out of comfort or obligation rather than purpose? These are questions we must ask ourselves. As Marcus Aurelius noted, wasting time on what doesn't matter is the real loss. Life is too valuable to be spent in fear of making the wrong choice. Reflecting on Emma's journey, what decisions in your life require deeper assessment? Is there a relationship, job, or situation draining your energy? Take a moment to consider the potential risks and rewards. More importantly, embrace the idea that stepping away, even if difficult, can lead to growth and freedom. True detachment is not about fleeing. It's about courageously realigning your life with your principles. Before moving to the next step, pause and reflect on this question. What are the long-term consequences of staying where you are versus making a change? This exercise will prepare you for the transformative practice of setting boundaries, which we'll explore next. Step 6. Take a break from social media. Transitioning from assessing the consequences of distancing ourselves in personal relationships, we now address a digital reality that profoundly affects our well-being: social media. While it connects us in extraordinary ways, it often entraps us in cycles of endless scrolling, fleeting validation, and unnecessary comparison. The solution? A deliberate break. This brings us to step 6, taking a pause from social media to reset your focus, mental clarity, and emotional equilibrium. Consider Emma, a university student who realized that social media had become her escape mechanism. Whenever she faced a challenging task or uncomfortable emotion, she instinctively opened her favorite app to distract herself. Over time, this habit eroded her self-esteem as she compared her unfiltered life to the perfectly curated posts of others. One weekend, overwhelmed by the pressure, she decided to take a bold step: a 2-week digital detox. The first few days were filled with discomfort and restlessness, but gradually, Emma found unexpected relief. She started journaling her thoughts, rediscovered her love for painting, and even reconnected with old friends over coffee instead of text messages. By the end of the 2 weeks, Emma felt lighter, more present, and in control of her time and energy. This story embodies the wisdom of the Stoic philosopher Seneca, who observed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." These words are a call to action in our hyper-connected world, urging us to reclaim the moments we lose to scrolling through screens. Social media, while not inherently harmful, can become a thief of time and attention when left unchecked. A conscious break allows us to pause, reflect, and realign our priorities. To begin this transformative practice, start by setting a clear intention. Choose a time frame: 7 days, 14 days, or even longer. Commit fully to this decision, recognizing it as an act of self-care rather than deprivation. Inform those who might rely on your digital presence, explaining that this break is a temporary but vital step for your mental well-being. The act of communicating your boundaries reinforces your commitment and builds accountability. During your break, replace online activities with tangible, enriching experiences. Pick up a book you've always wanted to read, or explore the art of meditation to calm your mind and connect with the present moment. Dedicate time to physical activities like yoga, jogging, or simply walking in nature. Each of these pursuits not only fills the void left by social media, but also nourishes your sense of self and purpose. The time that was once consumed by mindless scrolling can now be invested in personal growth and creativity. As you progress through your break, take a moment each day to observe your feelings and thoughts. How does your mind respond to the absence of constant notifications and comparisons? Are you more aware of your surroundings, emotions, and relationships? Reflect on these changes by journaling your experience. For instance, note any improvement in your mood, productivity, or ability to focus. This practice will deepen your understanding of how social media impacts your mental state and help you make conscious decisions about how to reintegrate it into your life. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-mastery and intentional living. Epictetus reminds us, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." By taking a break from social media, you reclaim control over your digital habits and train your mind to prioritize what truly matters. This pause is not about renouncing technology altogether, but about redefining your relationship with it so that it serves you rather than dominates you. After completing your break, reflect on what you've learned. Did the absence of social media bring unexpected benefits, such as reduced stress or increased self-awareness? Were you able to deepen connections with others through face-to-face interactions? Use these insights to establish healthier habits moving forward. Perhaps you decide to limit your daily social media use to 30 minutes or set designated offline times to focus on your priorities. Now, it's your turn to embrace this challenge. How many days will you commit to pausing social media? What activities will you explore during your break? Share your goals in the comments below and inspire others by documenting your journey. This isn't just about improving your own life. It's about creating a ripple effect of mindful living in a world overwhelmed by digital noise. Finally, if this step resonates with you, share this video with friends or family who might benefit from a digital detox. Let's spread the wisdom of Seneca and the Stoics, reminding ourselves and others that time is our most valuable resource. Together, we can reclaim our lives, one thoughtful decision at a time. Step 7. Focus on fundamental needs. As we approach the final step of our journey, we delve into the heart of Stoic wisdom, focusing on what truly matters. This step is the culmination of everything we've explored, distancing ourselves temporarily, assessing relationships, setting boundaries, and even taking a break from the digital noise. Now we turn inward to uncover the core of our being and prioritize our fundamental needs. In the words of Epictetus, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control and some things are not. This principle guides us to focus on what nurtures our soul, rather than chasing external validation or superficial desires. Imagine David, a marketing professional in his late 30s who constantly felt drained. He was always available for last-minute work requests, attended every social gathering, and often sacrificed his own needs to accommodate others. The result? Burnout, resentment, and a lingering sense of dissatisfaction. One day, David decided to reassess his priorities. Instead of trying to please everyone, he began focusing on what truly mattered: his mental and physical health, quality time with loved ones, and pursuing hobbies he had long neglected. Over time, David discovered a renewed sense of energy and fulfillment as he no longer allowed the demands of others to dictate his life. This realignment mirrors the essence of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics teach us that living in accordance with our values and needs, not external pressures, is the key to inner peace. When we focus on our fundamental needs, we cultivate resilience, self-mastery, and a life of purpose. It begins with clarity, understanding what is truly important to us, and having the courage to prioritize those aspects of life. To start, take a moment to identify your core values and needs. What brings you genuine happiness and fulfillment? Is it spending time with family, pursuing a creative passion, maintaining your health, or achieving a specific goal? Write these down. This simple act of reflection helps clarify what deserves your time and energy, creating a roadmap for living intentionally. For example, if health is a top priority, schedule time for exercise and meal preparation. If personal growth matters, carve out space for reading or learning new skills. Next, practice the mindset of self-reliance. Ask yourself, what do I truly need to be happy? Avoid conflating needs with wants. While a new gadget might bring momentary excitement, true happiness often stems from connections, meaningful achievements, and inner harmony. This mindset helps distinguish between distractions and essentials, allowing you to allocate resources like time, energy, and money more effectively. A vital part of focusing on your needs is creating a habit of weekly self-evaluation. Dedicate a quiet moment each week to reflect on your actions, decisions, and their alignment with your core values. Did you honor your priorities, or were you sidetracked by obligations that didn't serve your goals? Adjust your actions accordingly. This practice reinforces your commitment to living authentically and ensures you remain on a path that aligns with your principles. Throughout this process, remember the Stoic concept of control. Epictetus emphasizes that while we cannot dictate external events, we hold complete authority over our thoughts and actions. For instance, you might face criticism for choosing to decline an invitation or stepping back from a draining relationship. While you can't control others' reactions, you can choose to act in a way that honors your well-being and integrity. This perspective empowers you to navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. As you implement this step, embrace the transformative power of prioritizing your needs. Reflect on how it feels to focus on what truly matters. Are you more present in your interactions? Do you feel less overwhelmed and more fulfilled? Share these reflections in the comments below. Your experiences can inspire others on their journey towards self-discovery and balance. Lastly, as we near the conclusion of this journey, let's connect these steps back to the overarching theme of detachment. Each step we've explored, from stepping away temporarily to focusing on fundamental needs, has been designed to guide you toward inner peace and self-mastery. Detachment, as the Stoics teach, is not about apathy, but about living deliberately. By freeing ourselves from external pressures and distractions, we create space to cultivate a life rooted in purpose and authenticity. Thank you for joining us on this transformative exploration. Your presence here reflects your commitment to growth and resilience. As you continue to apply these principles, remember that every step toward self-mastery is a step toward freedom. If this journey has resonated with you, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from these lessons. Let's spread the wisdom of the Stoics, creating a ripple effect of thoughtful, purposeful living in a world often overwhelmed by noise. As we reach the conclusion of this transformative journey, let's reflect on the profound wisdom of Stoicism. Detachment, as we've explored, is not about giving up. It's about stepping forward into a life of inner peace and freedom. Each step, from setting emotional boundaries to focusing on fundamental needs, is a guide to reclaiming your energy and aligning with what truly matters. It's about living deliberately, not being swept away by the chaos of external pressures. Now the question remains, which step will you begin practicing today? Will you take a break from social media, reevaluate toxic relationships, or perhaps focus on the core values that define your happiness? Share your thoughts and your journey in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else to take the first step toward their own transformation. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Together, we can bring the timeless philosophy of Stoicism to more people seeking clarity and resilience in a noisy world. And as Seneca wisely reminds us, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Let this thought guide your actions today and every day forward. See you in the next video.